next thing we're going to talk about is something totally odd, but it happened. And I don't even know if it's ever happened to anybody else. I would assume it probably has. But anyway, a young man contacted me, and he's 30 years old. Wow, he's 30-year-olds. Okay. He's 30 years old. And I was talking to him about, he wanted some help with an issue he's having. And what he wanted to go to court. He wants a lawyer to go to court because he has child support and he wants to have payments. The young man had a stroke, so he's collecting SSI and Social Security. What he did not know was that they can take your Social Security, but not your SSI. They can actually take your Social Security for child support. They can. And he's also working 20 hours a week, which, as you know, if you get SSI, so you can work is 20 hours a week. Now, so what I'm saying sounds pretty okay, correct? He wants, set up a payment plan with his Social Security so they don't zap it off. Makes sense, right? Right. But guess what? Of all things. Now listen to me again. And see, I don't want Joe to fall on the floor because Joe's calm right now. I don't want him to fall on the floor. But this 30-year-old man has 15 kids. He has 15 kids. 15. 1-5. I didn't say 5, but 1-5. In one city. Lovely. The city of Killeen, yes. So he wants his child support payments regulated. Well, first I was with him on, getting the payment set up. I was with him on, I said, I know a good lawyer who could do this. I know a good lawyer who could do this. But when he said 15 kids, I was like, first I looked at him real good. I'm like, how could somebody 30 have 15 kids? Okay, stupid me who said that, but my brain wasn't thinking correctly. I'm like, one person, 15 kids, and he's 30. My goodness. Then, I realized I knew his oldest daughter, and she's 13. She's 13, so I let him know at that point that there's no regulation and no payment plan set up for him with that many kids because you got to figure on Social Security and SSI. Social Security, you got to figure he's getting no more than $400. He's not any more than $400. A payment plan wouldn't help him at all because, like I said, he has 15 kids, not 5. 1-5. So there's no payment plan for that amount of children. There isn't. And he said he's behind in child support. And I let him know you will be behind forever. And I wasn't being mean. Joe was like, what? I wasn't being mean or evil to say, but let's look at reality today. $400, 15 kids. Each kid gets nothing. I mean, think about it. Each kid out of $400, Joe said they get about $25 each per month. The rest is coming out of our check. Think about it. We're paying for the rest. We're picking up the rear. We are picking up the rear, and we will be picking it up until those kids are 18. But I let them know there's no payment plan. No. And his 20 hours a week job, no, they're not going to touch that because there's not enough for anybody to touch. So what I'm saying to you is people be careful and be mindful of what you're doing. Please do. Because in this day and age, and ever, any day and age, ever, having 15 kids and you're not married to the person and all these different baby mama drama things going on, do something. I asked him a crazy question because he's going to school, which is good. But even with going to school, whatever he gets a degree in, he still can't work for more than 20 hours a week. So him getting ahead, it's not going to be virtually impossible. I'm not going to say it's virtually impossible, but him getting ahead in child support, he's not. He won't. He's living in a world right now that's fixed because his income is fixed. His income is done. He's not going to be able to make, any money it would take to get himself back on track because you figure just think how far he's behind right now. Just think how far he is behind, and he's 30. He'll never catch up. He won't. I asked him, to me, if I don't know, I'll be an entrepreneur or something where I can at least put a dent into the system. I asked him what does he like to do, and he said he likes to play with his children. uh, that to me, that wasn't, I mean, that was cute. That was cool. He knows who they all are. They all come to for Thanksgiving. They're all at the house. That would be a nightmare for me. And not his house, his mother's house, naturally. Cause at his age, you figure, and the fact that he had a stroke and, unnecessary Social Security, he can't live on his own. He has no money to do it. But just think of the world that he's in, and think of the world that he's placed his children in. We're saying, yes, I have a dad, but I have a father. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, what can he do for you? Nothing. So you've put a society, you've given them a job. And our job as a society is to take care of your children. After I talked to him and, got my head straight again, because, I had to shake it a bit there to compute 30 years old, 15 kids, $400 a month, child support. Whew! After I put all that in my brain, I became angry at that point, because I'm thinking, he knows what's going on. He knows how to produce children. He knows what it takes to not produce any children. And he's out there. And he's just out there, and right now, actuality, instead of 15, he actually has 13 children, but he has 2 on the way. So I counted those 2 on the way. They might as well be 15, because they're on their way. And when he said I have 2 on the way, I'm looking at him like, for real? You're serious? You have 2 on the way. 2 on the way. Not by one person, but you have 2 on the way. And he's like, yeah. He's really happy about this. That's my other problem, is he's really excited about it. He's really happy about having all these kids. And I'm sitting there, holding my hands, because I had to hold my hands so that they wouldn't hit him. Because my whole thing was, boy, I need to whoop you. I don't know what a whooping would have did. It would have made me feel better. But you know what? Well, please be cognizant of what you're doing. Like I said, we who work every day are paying for those kids. We will be paying for those kids until they're 18 years old. We will. Amongst all the other children, his 15, like Joe said, they're each getting $25 a month. So we know the rest is from us. We'll be paying for them. Those are our kids. All those kids are ours. And I asked him, has he ever thought about using what he's supposed to use to stop having kids? No. He had a stroke, and if you looked at him, would you know he had a stroke? No. So his stroke, he had one, but it wasn't enough to cause you to know he had one. So you won't know he had one. He probably did have some issues with therapy, whatever, back when he had it, but he needs to rethink what he's doing. And those out there who are doing what he's doing, sex with no protection, think about what you're doing. It's not cool having that many kids. He doesn't have a farm. He's not a farmer. I could say, if he was a farmer with a farmer and growing his own crop, okay, fine. They got something to do. But these are kids just out there. And like I said, when I met him, this is the second time I've met him. The first time I met him, his car had broke down. We were at a meeting. His car broke down, and I didn't know him about the kids at the time. But one of the little girls, who's 13 now, she came over to me and she goes, "Hey, Miss Phyllis, how you doing?" I'm like, "All right, how are you?" She said, "You won't be happy with me right now." Well, first of all, I remembered her face, but I couldn't place the whole situation, me and her, but she went to the same school I was working at the time. And, she was telling people in the school there that, I was the one who, when kids came to school, I made them put lotion on, which is very true. Anyway, she was saying when she was in trouble a couple of times, I'm the one who took her to ISS and let her know that it was her fault that she was going and we weren't going to have any problems. But when I looked at her, I was looking at her. What did she have on? She had on black pants and a white shirt, which lets me know she was in alternative school. I asked her why was she in alternative. She said because somebody was saying something about my mama. I'm like, I said, is what they said about your mother true? No, then why you fight? Only fight if it's true. If it's negative and it's true, okay. But if it's not true, who cares? But she was, but she was fighting. Okay, so her other sibling was standing there. Her other sibling by someone else was standing there. And, she was looking at me and she goes, "I'm about to go to alternative." I'm like, whoa, wait. You're about to go to alternative? She goes, "Yes." So we discussed why she's about to go. And I was totally blown away by it because I didn't know those things happen. But what I later found out was those are his kids. I'm talking to his kids. one kid's in alternative, one is about to go to alternative, and I'm talking to these two girls, and I talked to another girl. She goes, well, I got to go sign some papers or I'm going to go to alternative too. I'm like, okay, you all three going, okay. I'm thinking, and like I said, I didn't know at the time those were his kids though. So look where their lives are playing out at. The third little girl told me she might go if she don't sign these papers. So I'm thinking you're too little to sign some papers, so you won't go anywhere. So what are you signing? So she told me that her and this girl got into a fight at school, and the school is making her sign a paper that she won't get within so many feet of this other girl. Okay, I'm like, that's a restraining order, and I didn't know schools could do that. I know I've been away from middle school. I haven't had any kids in school in years, and my granddaughter's in school, so I'm gonna have to ask her. She's in high school. But anyway, the girl said that if she has to sign a paper, that she will stay away from this one girl so many feet, and if she gets in within that space, she'll be sent to alternative. Well, my question is, one, in a school that's highly impossible to say that I'm gonna stay any many feet away from anybody, because in school, in the hallway, that's virtually impossible. It's possible in class. You can do it in cafeteria, but in the hallway you can't. If there's a fire drill and y'all end up together, you are. If the girl walks over to her space, who violated what? I don't understand that in the school. I don't get it. It's craziness. So I told the little girl, I said, who's your mother? She goes, well, you can talk to my grandmother. So I'm like, okay. So I talked to her grandmother, and I'm like, hey, what's with this paper? She told me about it. I'm like, for real? She said, yes. I said, you're going to sign it. She goes, why? I said, because that's highly impossible for two girls in the same grade for your granddaughter to stay so many feet away from her. I'm like, for all serious, no, just remove your granddaughter and put her in another school. I said, because that's not going to work. That is not going to work at all. It's impossible. So that was my thought. But like I'm saying that to go back to these three girls, I wanted at 15. Now 3 out of that 15. So look where their lives are right now. Right now, he's got one daughter that's in alternative. One, as she goes, she's that word I can't stand, which is finna, because you can't finna nothing. So she's going to alternative, starting probably next week. And the other daughter is signed a paper, saying that, she won't stay, she'll stay within so many feet of some other girl. Okay, so now he's got 3. Remember that. These are the 3 of his daughters, of the 15. Look where these 3 are going. Look what lives these 3 are in. Because you know what? These 3 girls, this is going to follow them for the rest of their life. Because we need to go back to years ago when we passed Senate Bill 9. Senate Bill 9 states that whatever you do, whatever crime you commit, it stays with you for the rest of your life. Only thing changes about it is the words, the terminology. If you curse somebody out, you went to alternative, later on that turns into an assault. Because the words have to change when you get older. So when you get older, the words will change. That fight you were going to have is a fight, but it becomes an assault. So things you do then will not go away when you get 18. They follow you. So these 3 girls here, look where their lives are already. One, she didn't have no problem about telling me she was an alternative. I mean, it was like a badge of honor here. The other girl, well, I'm going. So I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm going alternative. She's bragging to me about it. I mean, she's like, another badge. And the other little girl, she's got basically what you want to call an adult wife. It would be a restraining order. So what I'm saying is he has all these kids, but he has 3 on the wrong road. 3 on the wrong road. He's not there. He's there to, how you doing? You figure out that he could do with them and say hi. You can't even take them all to McDonald's. If he did, he'd have to buy a fry for each kid. Each kid would get a fry and a bite of a sandwich, and that would be it. But he can't do anything for them. And they have a father. And these 3 girls aren't, what you want to call it? Let me see. they're sisters, but they're not of the same mother, same father. So they're all sisters, and they know each other. This is the weird. They know each other, and they're but they're cool with this. No, this isn't cool. This isn't cool because now we are going to be responsible. First of all, we got to pay their child support. Now, when they go to the juvie and all that, we're paying again because remember, juvie is funded by the county. Okay, we pay taxes. So we're paying for those kids 2 times. Twice. We're happily, and I'll say happily because we ain't happy about it, but we're paying for those kids twice. 2 times. 2. We're paying for those kids. So how much more are we going to have to deal with this? How many people out there are doing what he did? And then you're allowing society to do what they do. And you're allowing a community of people to have to support this. We shouldn't have to support this. This is not what we're supposed to be doing right now. We're supposed to be thinking ahead and thinking positively ahead and working with some solutions. He gave us a problem that we have no solution for. We have no solution to help this issue. We're stuck with it. It is ours. Who's going to have to raise those kids? We are. The little girl reminded me of how many pair of socks I gave her. I don't know, but she remembers. She remembers how many pair of socks I ended up giving her. And I'm thinking now back, it's because you were one of who knows how many at that time. So she told me, you gave me all these socks, you know. She said, you used to put bows in my hair when my hair was a mess. And at that point, I didn't know that was his daughter. Now that I know, I'm like, heck, I did a whole bunch for that little girl during the time that she was in school, you know, not to make her fit in, but just to make her, you know, look like a little girl and all those other things like that. But I'm saying again, young people, be careful what you're doing. Think about what you're doing before you do it. Don't be 30 years old with 15 kids and can't get a job to take care of any of them. Christmas time, he can't do nothing for those kids. Thanksgiving, he has to depend on his mother to help feed those kids. And anything else has to be done by us. Remember that. It has to be done by us. We will be taking care of those kids. Well, I don't want to take care of them. I don't know about you. So my thing to that is this is what's going on in our community. And that's something that we have to all fix together. That's when some men are going to have to come in and say, hey, let's talk to this young man because he needs some men to talk to him. He needs some men to sit down and find out what the heck is missing and to help him readjust his thinking skills. Because this thinking is all off task. Because when you can look at me and smile and say, I got all these kids, not to say he shouldn't be, but you're going to smile and go, yeah, I got 15 kids. No, you should be trying not to tell me that. You know, you should be only telling me 5. And so, men, I'm telling you, I'm saying it. Y'all need to find this young man. You need to talk to him, talk to him. Because right now, he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. Only thing he's worried about is making up a payment plan with $400 for 15 kids. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go to court and get a payment plan. Well, he can't. He's behind in payment. And also, I let him know one thing. He has a car. He forgot. He forgot. But I guarantee you this. He didn't forget. No one told him that Texas has a law that says if you're behind in child support, you cannot register your car. No one's told him that. Because he just bought an A and B car. He has an A and B car right now. I mean, it's seriously A and B. He has a car, so he has a registration. No one's told him that. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that if he goes to court and says what he says, the court can say, whoops, you got a car? Oh, give me your registration. And he will lose again. So these are things that he does not know that can already catch him up. Right now, they could have already taken his car. Nobody's paid attention. He hasn't been caught yet. So he's sliding. He's once again flying under the radar until he gets caught. But just think, if they take away his car, that means his 20-hour-a-week job and him going to Vista College is over. It's done. He can't do that. So once again, I'm saying, hey, men, I need you all to come together and talk to this young man and get him straight because he's going down the wrong road real fast. Women, it's time for us to get together and talk to these girls. Because it is not cool, it's not a badge of honor to go to alternative It is not. They're ruining their lives. And, if they're thinking about this going to alternative that is cool, what are they going to think about going to jail? What are they going to think about that? What are they going to think? Is that a cool badge of honor? What are they going to think about it? And they're on their way when you start going to alternative and thinking that it's cool. See, it's one thing going to alternative, go, oh man, I'm looking at it. No, they're going, oh yeah, I'm going. Yeah. And oh yeah, I'm about to go. Oh, geez, I'm finna go. I'm like, oh, you can't finna nothing. But we need to step in and do some talking and some fast work, because he's already ahead of us with 15 kids. So we got to do some work to get this straight and think about it. So that's, boy, that's a lot to talk about. I think Joe is calm now, maybe. The 15 kids. Whew. Okay. And wow. Anyway, yeah, that was my thing. And like I said, to tell anybody else, if you're on Social Security, can they take your Social Security for child support? Yes, it is totally legal. Because can they take your SSI? No, because that's a disability, and no one ever can touch your disability for anything, including the IRS. Nobody can touch your disability because it's totally yours. Anything else other than that, government can take, and there's nothing you can do about it but say, "Oh man, I lost my money," and that's it. Okay, so change from my last fast subject. At Bell County, it's talking about having county-wide polling locations for the elections. And I'm on the committee, and we're working on it to start for 2020. Do we need them? Yes. Because what that would mean is that there will be some super precincts, which will be multiple precincts in one building all over Bell County, where you will be able to go anywhere and vote. Which means if you work on Fort Hood and you live in Temple and you are an election day voter, you will be able to pull up anywhere in one of the super precincts. You'll be able to pull into one of them and go vote, and don't have to worry about flying home to get there. If you're one of the people who don't know where your precinct is, so instead of you going from place to place to place to figure out where you go vote, you go to a super precinct, and guess what? You're in the right place. You can go vote. There's a lot of polling locations that will be that have already been selected. If those are passed by the Secretary of State, we're looking at this starting for a primary election. It will be the super precincts, and I think it's a good thing, like I said, because it will allow you to go anywhere to vote. If you vote if you're one of the election day voters and you decide, hey, listen, I don't want to go way across town. If I go over, it's going to be, oh my gosh, I'm not going. You can go to one of those and you can go vote. Soldiers who are home on R&R and don't know where the heck they're supposed to go vote, they'll be able to go to one of the county-wide polling locations, and they'll be able to vote without voting on a provisional ballot and trying to figure out, is it going to be counted or not? They can go and vote. So all in all, it is a good thing for us to have. Most of our surrounding counties already have it, so we're kind of a little late there getting it. But hopefully by the end of the year, we find out that the Secretary of State's office has said that we can actually have it, approve it, submit it, and that we can move on forward and have these elections done. Are we still going to vote electronically? Yes, you are. On the same computers that we voted on last for November's election, if you voted, yes, you're going to be voting on those computers. All this other stuff is going to be gone. If you ask why, it's because we had to move ahead with everybody else. I know everybody used to like the big, huge machine thing, and we trimmed it down to the sheet of paper. Now we trimmed it down again. We're following what we have to follow. This isn't, why did Bell County have to do this? No, it's Bell County had to do this because the state mandated it. People waited as long as they could, and we have to do it. So we are going to have the machines, but countywide polling locations will be great. Like I said, a lot of people look at, oh my gosh, it's going to be confusing. No, it won't. It will allow you the ability to go anywhere and go vote, any of those precincts, and go vote, rather than trying to figure out where you go. One of those precincts. No, now, all the precincts will not be super precincts. Some of the precincts will stay just yours. Some will stay open. The people in the rural area will still have their precinct, so they won't have to go anywhere. They live in a rural area. They will still vote there unless they're in the city and they can. But if they're rural precincts that they have, they will still stay. And a lot of precincts will stay. but we will combine a whole bunch of them and make them a super precinct so that you can vote wherever you are. Me, myself, and all the people I've talked to think it's great. It's terrific. We're moving forward, and we should have did this a long time ago, but we didn't. We just didn't, but we're doing it now. And if you have any suggestions about a location where you think a super precinct could be, which should be a building big enough to hold multi-precincts, a Facebook page, Community Connections, go to it and let me know, and I'll bring it up at our next meeting. Well, we had a nice long discussion. I think we learned a whole lot. We know what we need to do about the police. We now know that your Social Security check, they can take it for child support, not your disability. Man, I gave you a charge. I need you to talk to this young man fast, like today, like right now. And you know about the countywide polling locations. So I want to thank you for spending this time listening to me talk this morning. And you know what? Next week, we're going to have a powerful, powerful show. Oh my gosh, you're going to need Kleenex water and everything you need. You're going to need all your strength. But I want to let you know that you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday.